quickly turn everything on so everybody can see us.
Cool. All right, it might echo on your side. Remember that. So
All right, greetings everybody. My name is Ben, aka Downsizeit, and here we are for the live stream giveaway for the 3-year channel anniversary. We've got some technical difficulties, and we might have some people joining later. We'll see if they're able to make it or not. So, on the stream today, we've got Admiral Bodhi, one of our newest members of the channel, who has been featured several times, but we met him back, I think it was back in the summer, when you and Aries started coming up for our monthly stuff.
I think it was like March-ish.
Okay, even so, actually, might be coming close to a year.
Maybe April. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we have Social General Rob. Some technical difficulties, so no video for Social General Rob, but at least we can hear his voice. So
yeah, hello, folks. Yep, it's after the home one got a little damaged. So it looks like the communications got damaged. So
yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're doing a relay from what's left of Endor. So yeah,
that's right. That's right. All right. So let's see. We got a lot of people viewing already. Just jumped right on. Very nice. We've got, looks like we got Aries in the comments. Just so you guys know, Aries in the comments, he's I'm not sure what that reference is. Tiberos the Red Wake. So you have to tell me what that means or what that's from. But he was Buster's partner on the Imperial side for our big Battle of Endor version 2. And Benjamin Lee, good to see you in the comments. Spartacus, hello to you as well, and everybody else watching. And I am not sure how long this stream is going to go. We're just going to keep it casual, play it by ear. And at the end of the stream, I'm going to do the live roll for the giveaway, the random roll. And I've got everything loaded up in my random generator, my random name picker. That took a while. There was a lot of comments. We had over 71. So 71 individual people commented, which is by far a record. I think we were in the highest I ever had was in the 50s as far as number of individual people to comment in a giveaway cycle. And 40 was the most comments. I think that was the most. I think that was every video. I had 40 videos, and someone commented in all of them. So very impressive. And we had a lot of people in the 30s, a lot of people in the 20s, so tons of comments. And that just took me a lot of time this morning to enter all those into my random name generator. And we'll, at the end of this, we'll find out who the winner is. We'll do the roll live. I've never done that before. And we'll see what happens. So, we are going to probably have Garrett Vance, aka Admiral Tater, on here a little later. He should be joining us maybe in about 30 minutes or so. And I'm hoping Buster can get on. Buster said that he was going to be able to make it, but I haven't actually heard back from him. I just messaged him, but no word yet from Buster. So, but hopefully we'll see something soon. But I think just to get it started off, since we actually have our Rebel commanders from the Battle of Endor, Social General Rob and Admiral Bodhi. Now, you guys already did, you guys already talked about the battle during our post-game interview in the video itself, but now that it's been a few days, do you guys have any additional thoughts or any post-mortem now that you've had a few days to recover from that grueling experience? To think about what went down and what you might have done differently. Maybe build the list differently or anything you guys want to talk about that massive battle that you might want to adjust or what you learned from it, etc.
I definitely think I think that we underestimated exactly how many dice they were going to be able to throw until we actually saw it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't think it would have been very thematic, but in retrospect, if we had just deployed all of our stuff sideways and just super cagey just to stall out the timer, I think we would have been able to cheese the system. But I'm actually pretty happy with how things ended up in the end. I think that just for the fact that it was a tie overall, I think that was it was really fun. to look back and just be like, wow, it was that close. Just a few dice rolls. I don't know. I think there's things that we could have done to make it better. I don't know. One thing I kicked myself to is we pulled our squadrons back to try and protect our escorts. That didn't even do anything because they just Buster just jumped his interceptors in and attacked the escorts anyway. Right. But if we had the squadrons, even though they were going to die, just as like a little bit of protection for our ships, like that might have saved the ship from squadron attacks a little bit. But...
Yeah, maybe save a like even if it was just for one round, go in, kill a bunch of squads, or lock them down for a turn. So that's one turn that they're not bombing your ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a lot of YT-2400s in there that weren't doing anything.
I know.
That they could have been.
As soon as I realized that they were being wasted, it was too late to
bring him back. Yeah.
Right. Now that was one thing that I agree, Bodhi. We should have moved our squadrons. It was like the last round that they were moving their squadrons before they went to the trench. We should have jumped our rogues right in. I bet ahead and at least gave us one round and maybe two full YT to help out, and maybe Wedge would have been up too then. But otherwise, our squadrons, I think, had to pull back because there would be no way they survived. As somebody did say in the comments, you guys needed plot armor, and yeah, Wedge and Lando, they would have been basically annihilated right away. So, and not even if Buster or Ares meant it, they'd just be targets. And with escort, Wedge the target no matter what if there's escorts out there, because of the escort rule. And then, well, if you don't kill off Lando when he's out there shooting down all your squads, you're doing something wrong. So with 40 squads they had, yeah, they need plot armor, so we had to give them plot armor by having them go in the back. So yeah, if we jumped our guys up at the last round, our rogues up at least, I think we would have done better, and actually had maybe a full squad going in there at the trench run at the end.
Hey, look, we got and guest star on the channel coming in. Garrett Vance, aka Admiral Tater, joined us. Welcome,
everybody.
Giveaway. Livestream.
What's up? What's your name? Bodhi?
Bodhi, yeah.
Bodhi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you from Arkansas?
I am.
Awesome.
I've lurked in the Discords a while. I don't know. I'm not super active, but I listen to your podcast.
Oh, Command Stack? Yeah. Thanks. Well, hi guys. How's it going?
It's going good.
Doing good. Yeah.
We are starting off just with like a quick little post-mortem from the massive Battle of Endor we did. These are our rebel commanders. Social General Rob, Admiral Bodhi were the rebel commanders, and just some additional thoughts from the battle. Okay. So
nice. Yeah, your 5-hour Endor video.
Yeah,
I still have not. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to break this into 2-hour segments over a couple days.
So yeah, let me
ask how long the filming was.
Yeah, that was James Blackburn. That was almost 12 hours. So between setup and teardown and ending the filming was almost 12 hours.
Yeah. We got there at 11-ish.
Yeah.
We didn't get fully set up and started until around 2.
2 o'clock. Took 3 hours to set up. And
then we were packing up by 10.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. You got it all done one day though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. And further, and just a little bit more on that as far as the length of everything, and a big frustration of mine, just want to explain to folks. I put it in the disclaimer after the video went live. Pissed me off so much, but I had almost 6 hours of raw footage, and it took me 14 hours to edit everything.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And 2/3 of that, and and that's every video I do where I do a dice cam. 2/3 of my editing is getting the dice cam to sync up with the main video. It takes the most of my time, and to make sure it's in proper corner so it's not blocking, the action going on. So that took me probably 6-7 hours just on the dice cam stuff alone. And then for some reason, when the video compiled, put it all together, I didn't go watch through it then because I was like, man, I just wanted to get it start uploading it because it took actually a day to upload to YouTube. It's so many gigabytes.
Yeah.
It was all in 4K. Then it was done, it was ready, it loaded. Then I started watching it on YouTube and I noticed the dice cam wasn't showing up. So something happened in my editing software where all this dice cam footage I edited wasn't turned on or something. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, oh my God, all this wasted time.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah. And wasted time on the day. We probably could have filmed that so much faster if the guys playing didn't have to worry about me turning on the dice cam, setting up the defense tokens next to the camera, roll it in the dice tray. If we were just rolling on the table willy-nilly, we could have played that probably saved 3-4 hours of day of time as well. I'm just like, oh. Well.
It's in the lost archives.
Yes.
I guess you can eventually probably maybe get it back. I don't know.
Well, I tried going back. I was like, I'll just re-upload it, and I'll go back and fix it, re-upload it. When I went back into my project file, the dice camera footage was all corrupted.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't recover it, and I did that on my phone. So I went to my phone, but since I didn't copy over the footage and then delete it, so I was looking through my trash, I did a cut-and move. So it wasn't on my phone anymore. So something must have happened when I transferred from my phone to my computer that I don't know.
Oh my
I tried doing a recovery to find anyway.
Maybe it's worth asking Ken if he's ever experienced the same thing. Maybe he's got a trick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Videos. I tried to make product videos for a while and put it on my YouTube. And I was like, this is taking days for me to do. And I was and then I made the class. I put a ton of work into a video to upload. I used my iPhone to film it in 4K. That way, if I lost resolution, it would still look good.
Right.
And I don't know. I guess what's that thing called at the end where you compile it or whatever?
Right. Yeah. You compile it together. Yeah.
I got it on YouTube and it was 720p.
And it's like, what?
And I'd spent and I was awful at it too, because when you first start doing anything on Premiere, you're just the worst. And so I was like, okay, well, that was 24 hours in the garbage
of wasted time.
I'll leave this video, and move on with my life. So, I don't know. I need to
so
hire
much
somebody
wasted
who
time.
Can edit videos.
Yeah,
that's what I need to do.
But yeah, so, and for people watching, I apologize. We were probably talking about the dice rolls and how awesome they were. And so you guys couldn't see anything. Had no idea what's going on.
What about the sound, Ben?
What's that?
The speakers, the sound? The microphones?
Oh, right. Yeah. And so that one, fortunately, so yeah.
Okay. So,
I also set up so this one I didn't actually comment on in the video, but yeah. So another thing that messed up that I didn't realize until after the game was over, we were all mic'd up, except for me because I talk loud, so I didn't worry about myself. So everybody had their own little lavalier mics and everything. Had the receiver on and everything, and we were going. The mics cut out. They ran out of battery with about 2 hours left of us filming. So I just took them all off. I was like, I wasn't going to, and I mentioned in the video, I cut that part out that you guys saw. But I said, hey guys, if the sound goes bad, I apologize. And then about an hour, when we were cleaning up, and I was putting my camera away, I noticed I had the receiver was hooked up to the camera, but I forgot to actually plug it in to the right port.
Oh, geez.
So the actual lavalier mics were actually not actually recording anything. It was just going off the basic camera mic.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, of course, this big video I want to do for the anniversary and all this shit's going wrong.
So no pressure.
Yeah.
I just got to do. You fix your mistakes and do Battle of Jakku.
Yes.
You'll have the first Jakku battle on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that
Talked about it. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the game, after we were done cleaning up and getting ready to leave, we were like, we want to do this again. Maybe what's the next battle we should do? We actually talked. We're probably gonna think about doing Jakku next. So we're gonna that's
maybe we should try and figure out, and I'll try and travel there.
Oh my god,
with you, and that would be perfect. Right?
That would be epic.
Oh yeah,
that'd be good.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that would be
no
awesome.
pressure. We could pick a day.
Yeah.
Plan in advance. I can get a room in Fayetteville.
You know what,
cool.
Folks, you heard it here first. All right,
Yep.
we're Garrett, you and I, we're gonna start trying to get that coordinated for this year sometime.
Yeah, we should do that.
So yeah,
not when it's winter.
No.
It's like
no. It is.
The roads are nice.
It is currently 2 degrees and snowing here in Northwest Arkansas.
Today's a bad day.
Well, it's actually really snowing up here in Bella Vista.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's coming down and sticking immediately. Yep.
And speaking of Arkansas, yesterday we had a tournament in Louisville, and I played against the guy who got your best new player prize from Osmo.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
I was like, I never thought I'd see those rulers again. I was like, wait a second.
It's like, I recognize those.
Gentleman named Aiden, so he was really nice. He was really excited to play, so he was good.
Aiden's cool. He's a good guy. Really good guy.
Drives a lot. I was like, man, stuck in Little Rock. Little Rock needs their own community in there.
They do, and I don't know what the Little Rock community is like, but it's
there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think there's much down there. I think when it comes to Arkansas, the Armada community is up in this corner.
So they exist in Little Rock, right? So they order from me. I mail it to their house in Little Rock. I tell them about the other Little Rock players, and crickets. I never hear back from any of them.
Really?
So they just stay. So that's most Armada players. They just stay in their little hovels of like friends and play in their basements and don't venture out. I'm like, y'all would have a community. There's like a dozen of you in every town in the United States.
I lived in Russellville up until like a year ago-ish, and like I basically cultivated the Armada community there. I figured there was nobody else in Arkansas except for the people up here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, so someone's just got to do it. You just got to show up like 3 weeks in a row at a store at like 5 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah,
and like that's the key. Like if you just do it more than twice in a row, all of a sudden the community exists.
Yeah, and that was a similar thing up here in Northwest Arkansas. I didn't realize, I thought it was the community was dead. The only person I knew that had Armada stuff was me, and then Rob, Buster, and Albert. We would play just with my stuff at their places.
Yeah.
Then I started the channel, and this out of nowhere, Aaron and Josh reached out like, "Hey, you can play Armada." And that was after about a year of me doing the channel. They somehow saw the channel like on a Discord or Facebook. Hey, we play Armada, and we live up here. You want to start getting together?
Oh, we were advertising everywhere, the channel too, Ben.
Yeah, so on the channels, and then there's a guy up in Springfield, Missouri, which is not too far of a drive. He started coming down, and then Bodhi and Aries this year started coming up. So it was one of those where the community started just from exposure, and you just gotta, just gotta put it out there. And
now it's only up from here.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was really interesting how it started building up. So, all right. Well, one thing I would like to do, and real quick, Rob and Bodhi, you guys have any other comments about the battle? You guys were just kind of talking about how you might have changed the squad play a little bit or whatever. But I don't know if there's any other comments you guys might want to have changed. Maybe in like list building. Would you have changed anything in your list building?
I don't know about the list. I mean, I really like the list in general, except for maybe the squads you play around with a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the GR75s with their slicer tools was fun. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was a blast.
Yeah, those fire ships were great. Yeah.
Yeah. They were awesome. And then we had, what was a Cham. And definitely keep him. So I don't think there's much I would change. I would probably use Torn a lot more than I did, which was almost none.
I think it was none. I totally forgot about him.
Yeah, you guys never used Torn ever.
No.
And you could have used her quite a bit. when you guys start getting to medium range.
I know.
That's critical.
Yeah.
Well, part of it
With
is
squad-
we wanted to
with
save
squadrons
time and
even.
space.
Yeah.
We didn't pull out any of the upgrade cards except for the ones that exhaust.
Ooh.
And so we were just going off of the list on
Yeah.
our phones.
And then, that's one thing everybody's got to think about here is that you got to think, and I'm sure Ben might have better description of it. We've had, you saw the table where the models are on. So we had no room to fit any of our cards. And so my kitchen was literally filled with cards for both sides.
Yeah, the kitchen counter.
And, kitchen counter, another table that, and one table was for the Imperials. They had all their cards out, but then they had to do the same thing. They had to stop.
Yeah, they actually didn't pull all their cards out. They only had like all the cards for the Executor, then all the other stars. They actually, so one thing I'll say that the Imperials did differently than you guys, they did a lot of just generic and then just duplicated the ships.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it easier for them to keep track of everything they had. I think
Well,
you guys barely had any duplicates. You guys almost had unique things on every ship that would just made it a little bit harder to keep track of everything that was going on. Yeah.
We had some similar stuff, but there was some titles or differences.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But no, it was I don't know. I'd keep the same fleet if we could just change a few things. That's about it. And
I was very confident if we made it to the trench run, we would be like set. I did not comprehend the fact that they would like I thought if we just kept our little death ball in the back, they wouldn't get to it. But if we had maybe added in a few other Y-Team 1300s just as backup, I think that would have.
Well, what we needed to do was jump out one turn before they went in.
Yeah.
The trench.
Try to intercept the interceptors that were coming in. Maybe jump the YTs out to try to tag them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was able to find the holes to be able to get Wedge,
Right.
and since Wedge is an escort, there's no way to protect him.
Yeah.
Right. That was the big problem right there.
Yeah.
But even the rogues, just to jump them out, just to kill off a couple, like you said, interceptors. Because I think I only had 3 or 4 that were able to reach the first round. So if we jumped them out that round, but again, you got to remember, guys, this was after how many hours was the last hour of the night?
It was a long game.
It was
a very long day.
Yeah. Our brains are going dead, and we're like, we're gonna help Ben out with the filming. We're gonna make it go quicker. Here, move all your moves now. And without even really thinking about them in Armada terms in a way.
Well, you have to do that. I mean, but we do that all the time in BattleTech. And we kind of started doing some like BattleTech, I don't want to say rules, but the way that we play. We'll do like a lot of simultaneous moves in BattleTech just to keep it going. And this was so big, we had to do that. It would have been even longer if we didn't do a lot of simultaneous moves. We're like, all right, these moves don't actually matter. Let's just start going. Just start pumping through it. Because if you try to play a game this big, like you play like a tournament, like really nuanced everything, you have to play a weekend. You would never get through the game. So.
But,
all right.
Yeah, no, but that round, that did matter, that round.
Yes, it did. Yep. All right, so real quick, Bardicus, yes, so Jakku, if we do it, I do want to do it right. So yeah, we would have the 3 Starhawks there, the 3 they had built. There would actually be 2 SSDs, because if I remember correctly, the Ravager was there for the Imperials, but the Republic by that point had actually captured an SSD and had renamed it, if I remember correctly. So we'd actually have like a Rebel SSD, but that's in the future to plan on how we're going to structure that.
It was the Lucentia.
Yes. All right, well, so we do have some AMA questions, as well as a couple questions in the comments that I just kind of transferred over. We'll call that as well. They Ask Me Anythings. And this one can be for everybody. This was from Stephen Bennett, and this will be for everybody. I'm curious what direction you think the meta is heading, and especially as we're getting closer to Worlds. Worlds is coming up in March. I think the last big tournament, at least in the States, for that is the Las Vegas World Qualifiers coming up. And there's a question about that a little bit later as well. But for the folks on the channel, what do you guys think? Where do you think the meta is going to go? What are we going to see as far as a lot of lists?
Who's starting? Who gets to go first?
You do. You volunteered.
Me? Oh, man.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and you guys probably have already talked about this on Command Stack, perhaps. I haven't caught up on all your episodes yet. I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet.
I think the last one we did was Christmas, so we got the next one coming up to talk about the stream of worlds, but I think so. Onagers being gone and Anakin Slavikin being gone opened up back to the Rebel MSU TRC 90 threat. Okay. So if you as a player don't know how to counter Kraken or even Akbar with a 134 Rebel Rogue Ball and a bunch of YT 2400s and Lando, and also getting plinked to death with, 3 reds, 4 reds at a time, that's very viable again. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to run into a lot of people, even with a blue beam onager to pop them out of the sky, right?
Right.
So that's very viable, and players like Daniel from Poland are going to come in and just absolutely, show how that's done. I don't know if he'll run that again this year, but that's back on the table for sure. And you can win big with lists like that with farming. I think staying with Rebels here, the Starhawk Fortress farming lists are still very good. If you don't have a plan to be able to take down those Starhawks.
Yep.
My friend Ruben won yesterday with a list like that, double large Rebel Providence Starhawk farming. And, even with Sloan trying to come after him, it's Starhawk and Providence. It's a lot of shields and a lot of generation, quad laser turrets. So even if you get attacked by squadrons, he's going to flak you and counter you. And it's, if you have generic squadrons, especially like Sloan, low health.
They'll go down pretty quick.
Get melted fast.
Yeah.
CIS. So we've been seeing a lot of heavy double large CIS fortress builds. Providence with double defensive upgrades. And then, of course, everyone brings your Patriot's Fist, which is going to throw buckets of dice at you and then squirrel away so you can't shoot at them. So I think you're not going to see a lot of CIS threat from fighters, but you are going to have to be able to deal with, a Providence that sticks in your face with the double arc on you. And if Providence at close range double arced, or 2 of them close range double arc, is going to melt you.
Yeah, that's interesting, seeing the potential the tank builds coming back, and not just, or what you might, like you said, obviously Starhawk or Starhawk Providence. I haven't seen that yet, at least personally.
It's heavy. So they're tanky, and then Imperial. I see a lot of 2-ship. So yeah, a lot of 2-ship, Quasar, Star Destroyer, Sloan, Ozzel, and Gergerod, right? Those are, Star Destroyers are back, right? And they're still very powerful. They can be outfitted to just tank damage, ESTs, NITA, ECMs, and just, you can spend forever trying to get after them.
Yeah, and it's and I like how now with the Onager point increase, it's now a choice between a Star Destroyer 2 or an Onager.
Right, and a Star Destroyer 2 is the best bang for your buck, I think.
I 100% agree, and I say that objectively and being biased, that's my favorite ship in the game. But it's like, unless your specific game plan is, I want a game plan around my ignition shot, you're probably better going off with the ISD now.
Yeah. And then, of course, I think the biggest threat on the table is if somebody across from you has Jendon, Merrick Steele, and Vader and TIE Defender.
Yeah.
I
love that trio.
It's gonna suck because they're gonna have a Quasar with flight controllers. Yep. They're going to absolutely murder whatever squadrons you bring. I don't care if it's got 8 hull points. It's gonna chew through you. And then Vader and Merrick and Jendon are gonna just absolutely destroy your ship.
Yeah.
Because Vader, he's got 2 reds, but he's got add up 2. It's insanity.
And guaranteed damage from Merrick. And if you face a no squad list and you have that, that was things didn't go exactly my way when I went to Texas Championship. I kind of don't want to talk about it, but I faced a couple lists where I was like squad lists, and I was like, oh, this is great, but just sometimes the dice just betray you. But anyway,
dice are fickle. It's a fickle mistress.
But it was
and then of course I think one of the scariest lists is German Sloan, which is that MSU Sloan Architens Quasar builds with Raiders. They're fast. They throw a lot of dice. They're hard to catch because they're going to deploy in a way that they swarm you like a Kraken CR90 build, right? You're not going to catch them all.
That's actually, I'm not familiar with that one. That's one that I'm not familiar with. I think Josh, Captain Ketter, you guys might see him on the channel. I think he might have done a similar. It might have been Sloan. He might have done something similar to that at the Osmo. But yeah, that's an interesting doing a Sloan MSU style. So.
Right, and they shred your tokens. You're not going to catch Sloan because they put her on a Raider.
Yep.
With Corvus, so their fighters are going to keep tearing you up. And then, but the worst part is like all the ships are so cheap. So even if you manage to destroy like an Architens or two,
you're not getting much.
80 points, 90 points, 100 points.
Yeah.
So
does that one have Centaur on it for like the activation range?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's important. So I'm just talking like there's lots of builds that people can come up with, right? I mean, there's some superstars for builds out there that are just incredibly nasty.
So what it sounds like, just to summarize your take, Garrett, is that it seems like with the changes they made, it opened up possibilities again.
Yeah, the game is healthier than it's ever been as far as options.
And I agree with that 100%. There's so many more options now that you can bring and be successful and not be like, well, if I don't bring Savo Anakin, or if I don't bring my Slanager or Ramadi Onager list everybody brings, I have no chance. It's now the table's open for a lot more options.
Yeah. Oh, and then spat victory spam. Watch out for Honey Badger. He's
oh my God, Honey Badger.
He's coming for you.
Dude,
right, listen.
I've looked at, I hope I don't face him at Worlds, at least not day one.
That list is a wall.
I don't know how to beat that yet. He did that at the Texas Championship and he won with that. Yeah.
It's a proven formula.
All right, well, we got some, so very similar to this question. I'm going to jump down my list here on the Ask Me Anything questions, just because talking about where the meta's at, especially around farm lists. And this is, Owen Johnston actually asked too. This is his second one. He was asking, and this is for everybody, how do y'all feel about fleets for farming objectives and tank lists, like Starhawks that are very hard to kill? Do you feel like it damages the game? Or do you think fleets should just be based around who can beat the other person through tactics and fighting? My initial thought to that is it's a very specific way to play the game, but objectives have always been part of the game. And whenever you're designing a list, if you're not designing a list like that, you need to have a plan on how you're going to counter someone that wants to play the objective as opposed to fighting you. And how can you try to counter that or at least mitigate it? So, but what are y'all's thoughts about like the farming list? Because I do understand it to be very unfun to play against, but there are ways to beat it or ways to get around it. It's just Armada, I think, is healthy for having objectives, and sometimes people want to play the objectives. So, yeah.
Well, speaking for Akbar here, and a nice slow pickle, I love farming objectives. I mean, it works out great for me. And then you have to come into my gun line and all that. So it works out wonderful. And then, but otherwise, it kind of stinks if you're playing against someone who's farming. But I like objectives. I mean, they have to be there. Otherwise, it's just a I kill you, you kill me game. That's it. Which, as we saw in this wonderful video, can be really painful. It could be like millions of squadrons come out of the blue, all of a sudden are attacking you and blowing up your stuff, and Death Stars are blowing your ships up. Yeah, that can be painful. So one-on-one is, well, I don't think you call that one-on-one, but force versus force kind of get boring. I like objectives. I like going after stuff, whether it be VIP, whether it be just farming contested outpost, or whatever. But I just like to have something other than destroy each other. That's it.
I agree. I love playing farming objectives, and I like playing against them. I think that because I came into Armada with a lot of experience with TCGs, and like the farming tank archetype is just kind of like it's just another archetype of deck building, and I think that having the most possible things that you can do with a fleet is really, really good. And even when like it can be a little frustrating when your opponent has this thing that you can't really deal with, and they're just farming a bunch of points from fire lanes or whatever. I don't want to be just like, oh, there's counterplay, just be better, do that. But like there are choices that you can make in your own list building to make a fleet more versatile against something like that. But more importantly, I think that in the game, like the thing that I like about the objective system is that there's not one in each color that allows farming. Like if you're given the choice between fire lanes and sensor net and advanced gunnery, like there's always the choice to pick advanced gunnery.
Yep.
So I don't know, like there's always something you can do if it is getting on your nerves.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, like you mentioned, there aren't any good, there actually isn't a farming red objective, I don't think. There are red objectives that give you victory points, but I don't think you can
Ion Storm.
farm.
Yeah, Ion Storm.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But
that one's
benefits...
hard to, Ion Storm is a hard one to tailor to your advantage for a tank though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. We're playing a fleet battle. Objectives are part of every battle in history, right? And in Star Wars, they're thematic. And I think the people that farming lists hurt most are new players who are unaware of the absolute carnage that's about to happen to them.
Right.
When they pick volatile deposits and, give second player their 2 asteroids, right? And then they're just going to absolutely farm 14 to 18 tokens that are worth 15 points each. It's like game over at that point.
Right.
But like Bodhi was saying, it is a little bit like, okay, you got to have a plan of how, if I am not a farming list, then my build is obviously to kill. So you got to have something that's able to bust through whatever main ship they have, that being a Starhawk, or if they're a Dooku farming list, just absolutely go over there and shred through their Providence or Munificent and make up those points differences. But, it's part of the game, right? Capture the VIP, it's 1 token. But like things like stuff like fire lanes, and you're playing against a farm hawk, like a Starhawk, don't pick fire.
Don't ever pick that one. That's the worst pick.
It's the trap. It's a trap, right?
Yep.
So because they're going to stack the tokens on top of each other, which, yeah, I agree, should be changed as part of the game. Like that needs to be a different adjustment. And I think some farming tokens need to go down in points. Volatile deposits, my group and I were talking about that. Ruben used it yesterday. It needs, instead of 15 points a token, it should be like 10 points per token.
Kind of like asteroid mining facility, because of how easy it is to get them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them should be 10. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So just little adjustments here and there. But no, it's part of the game. So, because if they're building a list around objectives, it's good strategy, and it's a strategy game.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to get after it. Now, I'm totally on board everyone's side when we talk about tokens getting moved around with strategic, because 2 of our factions don't have the mechanic.
Yeah, that's one where Rapid Reinforcements 3, they have to give strategic to the Separatists and the Republic, because that is an extreme disadvantage that they can't play that game.
Right. So that is a very acceptable grievance that I hope that can easily be fixed in a rapid reinforcement.
So easy. Yeah.
So
I want to disagree with that, actually. I think that Republic would be far and away the best faction if they got even a unique squadron with no defense tokens with strategic.
You think
Because
so?
the tranquility with like a Ventu, defensive retrofit, maybe Bale for more engineering dials, that thing is not going to die unless you pump everything you have into it.
Well, it's the same thing as a
The
Starhawk.
Starhawk.
Right.
So
But I don't know. I don't want to see it.
part
I don't
of
want to play against Tranquility more than I have to.
I'd rather kill a Tranquility than a fully loaded Starhawk.
Same here. I agree with you on that one, Garrett. Starhawks are killable, but I'd much rather go up against a Lumi Tranquility than an Agate Starhawk.
Yeah.
When I know I have to kill it. So
a Venator is one bad crit away from being completely disabled.
That's fair.
Yeah.
A Starhawk can survive quite a while. 14 hull points is a lot compared to 9.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I agree. It would suck, and I would gladly abuse it, but we'll see what happens.
So let's see. Let's do some more questions here. So, and this is, I'm going to do this one. This is a couple people asked this, and we'll just let this be like so like we had a question from Aries, James Blackburn, and Beaker. All had similar questions. But basically, we'll do Beaker's later. It's slightly different. They said, what is your favorite ship in each faction? Someone asked specifically for Rebel ship. Someone asked specifically for a specific person. But we can all do this. Our favorite ships for each faction. And mine are pretty... if you've watched my channel for any time, for any length of time, I've made those clear. But I'll go through them again real quick. I'll just go first. But my favorite ship in the game is the Imperial 2-Star Destroyer. And it will probably always be my favorite ship. I think it's the perfect ship of maximum versatility for whatever you want to do. Firepower, squadron command, maneuverability. It's a tank. It can do everything. It is the perfect jack of all trades. I love that ship. As far as for the Rebels, this one is just for gimmick purposes, but I love the Liberty style MC-80s. One, just because they're the Rebels Star Destroyers. But I also love putting them with Maydeen, and then put like a Pelta with a fleet command, take evasive action, and just turn them into Tokyo drift ships, and just fly around. Anyway, that's just a gimmick thing. I like the Ven 2 because I like doing squads, and I like turning it into a carrier. And then for the Separatists, the hard cells. I think hard cell swarms, I haven't seen those in a while, but for me, when I see that across the table, that's the thing that I fear the most. If I see a hard cell swarm with like Mark II. Hard cells I think are the best Separatist ship, or at least my favorite. So, but who wants to go next for their favorite for each faction?
I can go next. So for Empire, I love the Quasars. I don't know. I like the name. I just think Quasar is a cool word. And I just like pushing a bunch of squadrons around. For Rebels, I don't know, the GR-75, the fact that it's the only ship to cost less than 20 points is, I don't know, it's so efficient, and I feel like it's a cheaty answer, but I don't know, they're just so good.
Well, it's a force multiplier.
Yeah.
It's a huge force multiplier for any Rebel fleet.
Yeah. It almost feels like you're not playing an actual fleet if you're building a Rebel fleet without GR-75s, which is weird. Like, I don't like that fact, but they're just so good. For Republic, as much as I hate to say it, the Pelta is another really efficient ship, and I don't know, they're really gross to fight against, but I don't know, they do a lot. My favorite Suma of all things fleet is Slicer Tools Peltas, which is really silly. And then Separatists, I can't pick a ship for Separatists. I think I'm going to agree with hard cells. Right now I'm working on a hard cell spam fleet with Grievous, and I don't know, it's really good in theory. I've only played a couple of games with it. We'll see how it goes in the future, but hard cells are good.
All right. Well, I guess that's up to me then. All right. Well, in a way, kind of like Ben, I'm gonna go with my one that people on the channel know so well, the MC80 Home One version. Well, it could be the assault carrier cruiser, or it could be the command. Doesn't matter, either one. I like them both. And let's see, moving on to the Imperials. Man, Imperials got a lot that I like. I really want the Architans, just for Akbar. Put some Architans on my side. That'd be great. I love them. But yeah, I think Architans are probably one of my favorite there. I like the long range. They got odd movement, agreed. But if you can move them, you can do great. Great job with them. Going off to Republic, I'm going to have to go with the Peltas. I never liked Peltas before, even Rebels, until I got to play the Republic Pelta. And the Republic Pelta, hands down.
It is. It is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like they went backwards in technology or something. But so I think the Pelta definitely would be my favorite in Republic. Going to CIS. CIS, I do like the Dreadnought. And the reason why is I thought I liked the what's the other one there, the one that Buster calls the dart, Recusen, thank you. I thought I liked the Recusen the most, and then I started playing it and it was always dying quickly, where the Providence could withstand some damage and also deal out damage. The dice on it were a little weird to me. You had like 2 of each or something like that. It was kind of weird for the Providence, but in general, especially the squadrons, because being a Rebel player, if you're playing the Squadron Providence, it was incredible to actually command 5 squadrons when you could only command like 3 or 2 before. So that was a big game changer right there to me. Did I miss anything?
I think that was all 4.
That was all 5 actions, yeah.
All right, Garrett, your favorite for each faction. I don't know if I know this. I don't know if I've ever asked you this.
I don't think so. Man, I have like my heart's favorite, and then I have like a game favorite.
Right.
For the Empire, I was trying to think really hard. I like all their ships really well. I gotta agree with Bodhi though. I think the Quasar it's unique to the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Like no other faction has anything similar to that absolute monstrous speed 3, 6 squad pushing with 2 ridiculous titles.
And so cheap. It is so cheap.
Comms, expanded hangar bay.
Yeah.
Flight controllers.
Taskmaster Grint if you want to go to the 6. Yeah.
Yeah. My God. What a monster. But my heart's favorite is still obviously the Star Destroyer. For the Rebels, this is a tough one. I think I really, really like the MC30 torpedo. I think the titles are crazy good. They're so fast and swirly. They can throw so much dice. You can make them super tanky if you want to, and to guarantee they'll live and they get out of there. And then for the Republic, I gotta go with the Pelta too. But the transport and medical frigate both are just insane. Evade, brace, redirect. 3 shields front, 2 shields side, 4 engineering value, the perfect upgrade card bar. And they're both they can both carry projection experts. One's got an offensive retrofit. They can do comms parts resupply, munitions resupply, and you can make them throw terrible dice. You can put ESTs on them with Luminara, and they're impossible to kill. Like, if you're a squadron player trying to kill a Pelta and you've got Lumi and EST, it's game over. Party's over. You're just not getting damage through.
Yeah.
And then any damage you do get through immediately gets wiped away.
Yeah, that's
by
true.
Another Pelta.
I mean,
fields.
My pick for the Republic, that's my heart pick just because I love carriers and everything.
100%.
But objectively, the Republic Pelta is probably one of the best ships in the game. If you do
I think it's the most efficient. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then for the CIS, I think the Magnificent is another perfectly designed ship. It's cheap. 2 versions,
Mhm.
different. You can put thermal shields on it. On a medium base. It's got a crazy nav chart, even only at speed 2, like the double click. And then red dice out the front and sides, which is, if you know, you combine it with like Martuk or
Yeah.
and then just a confire dial.
And it does make it so easy to double arc. You know, once you get used to its front arc and the side, you can just line up so you can easily double arc people, just basically front shots. So
it's command 2. It can carry a fleet command. What else? It can also push squadrons if you want, and you can put auxiliary shield teams on it and make it really tanky.
Yeah,
on
that's
top
true.
of thermal shields.
That's true. I will say, other than thermal shields, if you don't have that on there, if you face a heavy hitter, you can one-shot them. I've actually one-shot full health Munificence with an IST-2 before a couple times.
Yeah, I think as a Clone Wars player a lot, thermal shields are a staple.
To
everything. It's stupid good. And then, but like I love the Providence as my heart's favorite ship or whatever.
Right.
It's super good. Especially if you can put thermal shields and like early warning systems on it, or ECMs.
Well, yeah, because you can double it up and just make it just so it's like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Which is really awesome. Yeah, I think that's all.
So,
hey Ben, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have a runner-up for the Rebels, though.
Yep.
That's the Nebulon escort, the Nebulon B. Yeah.
The Nebulons, man, they need.
I don't know. You can ask Ben. He's known me, since we started playing. I love him.
He loves them,
and I can make them work. And I think that they have great flak, which I love flak. I get bugged Bodhi about that the whole entire time, about flacking stuff. And it is important, very important.
Yeah,
and,
midway through the Battle of Endor, guys, if you guys want to see some minor drama on the channel, very minor drama, just listen to Rob and Bodhi arguing about whether they should worry about flacking.
Yeah.
The squadrons kept coming back. I felt like I was justified. I shouldn't have been.
But we kept pushing them back.
So you were right from the beginning. Flak is always
important.
Yeah.
I am desperate to put a redirect token on the Nebulon Bs.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Desperate. That would fix that ship immediately. It would make it so much more worthwhile.
Yep.
It would.
All right, so similar to this question, which is why I wanted to save it for the second part. This is from Beaker. What is your dream ship, squadron, or upgrade to be added to the game if you were king for a day? Mine, I've stated this before, and it hasn't changed. It's actually my favorite ship in all of Star Wars lore. It's not canon yet, but that is the Nebula-class Star Destroyer that the New Republic developed in the EU. I love that ship so much. It's my favorite ship. And it's primarily because I'm a Trekkie at heart, and Star Trek, has to do with actual science fiction, not science fantasy, and technology and advancement through technological means. And the Nebula class Star Destroyer was the first time in Star Wars where they actually did a technological advancement to a ship with all its technology, as opposed to just bigger is better or more guns.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that ship so much.
All right, so the one, it's currently in play, but they need a better version of it, okay? The assault frigate. I want them to make, I would make a better
Hey, real quick, Rob, I don't want to cut you off real quick, but we'll let you restart, but we have Buster, aka Banshee, joining us.
Sure.
Hey. Hello.
Buster has just returned from the gym, so he is now able to join us here. So, we've just been answering some questions for the Ask Me Anything, Buster, and Rob was giving his answer. The question is, and we'll let you answer this one once we go around the horn. What is your dream ship, squadron, or upgrade to be added to the game if you're a king for the day? And so I gave my answer was the Nebula-class Star Destroyer from the old canon that currently doesn't exist yet in the new canon. And Rob, going to restart yours because I kind of cut you off there.
Mine is one that's already in it, but it's the assault frigate known as the Potato, to be reimagined, remodeled into the correct assault frigate.
Yes, the assault frigate Mark 1. Why don't we have that? That is so much such a better design. Oh my god.
Mark II. Why not a Mark I?
Yes.
So,
The Mark I looks so much better.
It does. It does. That'd be one of mine right there.
You're gonna have to look this up. I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen the Mark I? Oh, you must have never played the original
There's
X-Wing TIE Fighter games.
No,
like
I
15
haven't.
types too.
Right. Yes.
Twin blade.
Yes.
Thin blade.
I like the split blade at the front. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, those are pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, a Buster, just to throw you in the wolves here, what would be your dream ship or squadron to add to the game if you could do anything?
Well, maybe the new warp ring they just came out with.
Oh, the big hyperspace ring.
Oh,
for ships?
yes.
The hyperspace ring.
Oh, what was that?
pretty cool.
What was that thing called? It's from the Ahsoka show. I forget what they called that ship, but it's one that they hooked the Chimera up to bring back to this galaxy. But yeah,
Eye of Scion.
Eye of Scion. That's
Yeah,
right.
Scion. That'd be a pretty cool ship.
Yeah, I wonder what it could do on the table. You know, it would look so cool.
Give Empire a hyperspace Radis mechanic.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. So you have that
Ooh,
ring, and you
yeah.
can just bring a Star Destroyer in right where the ring's at and just swap them out, maybe, or something.
That'd be cool. I
That'd
mean,
be
the ring
silly.
does have some limited combat ability, so
Yep, it does. Yep. Yeah, that would look cool on the table.
yeah.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what about you, Bodhi? What would be your dream add-on
Okay.
to the game?
I'll cheat a little bit. I have two ships, but both of them serve the same purpose, and that would be either the Lucre Hulk or the Dual Hemisphere Separatist ships. I don't know why the Republic is the only faction with a Squadron 5 ship, printed on the card Squadron 5. But you know, if they can be cool, I think Separatists should get one too. So give us the Lucre Hulk. Make it big.
I agree. And I don't think they need to make it massive. I would be totally happy with a condensed, large base Lucre Hulk.
It doesn't
It's
have
okay.
to be to scale. Yeah.
But the
just-
SSD is already incredibly miniaturized.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine. It's not a big deal.
Just make it like the Starhawk sized. So
Right.
yeah. What about you, Garrett? Your dream upgrade card, squadron, or ship?
Oh man. My dream is for them to make Luke good. He should be in every list. But
Right?
if I had to add something, I think adding counterpart lats and the droid gunships for
Right.
unique boarding trooper and raiding mechanics
Mhm.
would be incredibly important. Or not important, but like fun for the game.
Yes. Yeah.
So like we were Ruben and Nick, my locals, we were discussing this, and we think, they're like boarding troopers is fun, but I think it would be really cool if there was we would have boarding troopers, boarding engineers, but I think we should make unique faction boarding mechanics, like boarding clones, do something different. We've got boarding droids, because that happens in the cartoon all the time.
Yep.
And then boarding dark troopers, I think would be really cool. And then a boarding rebel commando team.
Yeah.
And each of them do something.
So like a unique
little bit wonky.
generic boarding for each faction would be that would be pretty cool.
That's what I want. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
And
pretty
then-
neat.
And I think the lats and gunships would be like a neat mechanic to add in there or something. So
Right.
and make Wolf work with Raid. So
Mhm.
Yeah, actually make his card actually meaningful in the game.
right.
Mechanics that don't exist yet for the Republic.
But man, yeah, there's so many like.
And they've had
legend
two
ships
rapid
that are-
reinforcement ones to correct that they could have easily done just for
Yeah.
just a little band-aid. But anyway. All right. So let's do some more. Well, actually, before we do some more questions, Buster. So this is what I asked at the top to Bodhi and Rob. So I asked them, do you have any additional thoughts from our Battle of Endor? Post-mortem. And they gave some additional thoughts, but we did our post-game interview. But are there any additional thoughts you might have had? What might you have done differently? Fleet building or deployment, or how you actually played the game? So
Let's see. Biggest thing I would have done differently was not have the PDICs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I would have done differently. Otherwise, I mean, having the 2 interdictors, I think that was great in influencing the deployment of the Rebel fleet. Having the minefields was great. I'd do that again. As far as play, designate the offside would all be carriers, and the onside would be gunners. So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
So as far as like getting the commands lined up where you needed them to be for.
Right.
Yep.
And when that got off, we never really recovered from that. And I mean, shoot, the very last turn, when we needed gunnery, I think almost everything was a squadron. It was our command and control just fell apart there.
Right.
And that was. If ever I needed that, the skilled first officer.
Right. What that one what was the SSD turn where you needed it to be a squadron and it wasn't?
Yes.
Was that? Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been huge. Or just that officer where you throw away all the dials and then you have to reset them.
Reset them. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that helps with things like raids with Syndulla.
Right.
There's a lot of things, a lot of overlooked cards out there, overlooked officers that aren't used much because, quite frankly, you rarely need them.
Right.
But when you have a force that's doing a lot of raids, they come in handy. So, but no, those are the main things I would have done differently. So, and we probably maybe had a more coordinated fighter attack. It was sort of hodgepodge, but it worked.
It kind of worked, with the thematic nature of the Imperial command structure at the time in the movie. So,
yeah, I did love the way it worked out the way it did. With at the very last minute, Palpatine is thrown over the ledge. The shields go down. The only thing that didn't work out was the A-wing into the
executor,
the SSD.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Rob and Bodhi even played for that to happen. They never made a run of the SSD.
We were going to, but there was far too many squadrons to even try.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a plan, but unfortunately we needed them to fight back the waves of onslaught of fighters.
So, Garrett, I have a question here from Bardicus. This one's for you. Why Tater? I just have to know.
Oh, so I was born and raised in Idaho, and it was just funny at the time.
Yeah.
So I started all this in a non-serious manner. Let me tell you, it was not an anticipated career change for me. So growing up, there was this thing called Grocery Store Wars. And it's this old YouTube video that was so funny back in the 2000s. I'm sure now it's cringe, as the kids say, but it was Shoot Broccoli and Darth Tater, and everybody was a vegetable or produce theme.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I love it.
It was really funny. But anyways, I think initially I'd made a shop called Darth Tater's Ship Shop or something, but Darth Tater is owned by, I think, a clothing company in Idaho.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I then rebranded to Admiral Tater. And so, yeah, so that's it. So Idaho potato joke roots. And I'm not even from the part of Idaho that grows potatoes. I grew up in the mountains. So, but
and
somebody
now
says, "Oh, you're from Idaho." Oh, they're either like, "Oh, Idaho," or "Oh, potatoes." It's the
right.
two jokes everyone brings
right.
up, right? So, that's where we're at. And my wife made this really funny logo, and I was like, "Oh, that is very cute, and it's really memorable." So nobody forgets the tater thing.
No, it definitely stands out. And now that you're out there in the branding, so you can't change it. You're stuck with this for life now.
Yeah. So I was telling my wife that I was like, I can do different versions. I was thinking about making it when I eventually just make generic general stuff, I might rebrand him to I don't know, 18th century looking admiral,
right?
to make it more generic. So But for now, I'm just running with the Armada thing because for whatever reason we can't seem to put this thing in the ground and bury it. So
Right.
as hard as everyone tries.
Well, that's a potato for you. If you try to bury it in the ground, it'll just grow right back for you.
Yeah,
You get a lot more.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we have just going through some more of these questions here from Aiden Broom. Which commander do we think will win the Las Vegas World Qualifier? That's a good question. I have absolutely no idea who's playing. I think it's actually going up next. Is it next week or the week after? It might be 2 weeks away.
I think it's next week, the 21st.
It might be next. Okay. So, but I am, as far as commander. Yeah, that's a good question.
We're gonna like predict the future here, or like we're going to cause the winner is listening right now, and they're going to play one of the commanders that we select, and they're gonna bring it. And
I mean, this is going to be ground zero of a true butterfly effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
In
going
that
to happen.
case, I'm saying it's Princess Leia. Is she an admiral?
Yes.
She actually is, and she's actually not bad, especially for Garrett, you were talking about CR90 spam coming back. Leia's actually, she's not the best for CR90 spam, but she's actually not terrible for CR90 spam. I've seen her before in years past.
I will bet $1 million that Leia Organa will not win.
you will probably, not only will you probably win that bet, you'll probably lose money because Vegas odds will probably have that in the negative or something.
All right, I'll also say a rebel commander, and I'm going to throw one out there. We'll say Mon Mothma, because CR90 spam is cool, but why not CR90Bs when they can still use their evades at medium range?
Or even close range for a double effect. In case you guys don't know anything, it's the anniversary. I don't know if Rob has a drink there, but I've got my drink out. This is the anniversary time.
I have water.
Got my martini here.
Coffee.
And as usual, I have water in my Guinness pint glass.
Yes. Not
Just
Dr. Pepper.
invisible.
I'm actually surprised there, Buster.
No, I'm saving the Dr. Pepper for the Cowboy game.
Oh, I see.
I noticed that my glass is invisible.
It is.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, the green screen effect on your camera right now must not like the shading of your glass.
Well, I'm drinking water, by the way. But anyways, moving on.
Replace my head with this.
I was kind of surprised, Ben, that we didn't have our annual toast on the day of the battle. But anyways, moving on.
Buster and I toasted. You guys weren't ready. The rebels, as usual, weren't ready.
Oh, what?
It was a trap. You can't blame us.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. At least we were blind sticking through that one, I guess. Anyways, favorite commander, I think I would like to see, or commander I think that will do great in Weird Worlds.
Well, for the Vegas qualifier, yeah.
Okay, Vegas. Well, yeah, Vegas qualifier. Wow, that's actually hard. Personally, I love to see Akbar do it. I mean, he's done it in the past in other tournaments, so I love to see Akbar up there, of course. But I don't know. I think Thrawn could do well, and I think Trench could do well. So that's what I'll say. Right, three right there.
Well, I would love that to happen, but I don't know if it's going to be viable. But I would love to see one of the multi-command commanders do well. I'm going to keep championing that. No secret. Of course, I'm bringing Thrawn when I go to Worlds. I can't do anything different. I'm stubborn that way. I will make Thrawn win eventually. Or at least place well.
You need to see the 2-ship list. I forget who posted it.
I love Thrawn 2-ship list, and I'm considering it to try to bring that back and see if I can make it work. But as far as for the Las Vegas qualifier, though, legitimately, I think it's probably going to be a Luminar list, or I think we might be seeing maybe I think I'm gonna stick with Luminara. Actually, I was gonna say Sloane. Sloane's always good, but people have figured out how to counter her. So I don't think there's gonna be that many people that don't know how to deal with Sloane. But I think Luminara is still a tank that is people don't know how to break yet. So I probably think Luminara might actually win Las Vegas. What do you think, Garrett?
Okay, good.
Yeah, we got you. Yep.
So I think at Las Vegas, so this is the California area.
Yep.
They're gonna a lot of those people. I think this is tough. So a lot of people travel there. I'm gonna say, oh man, I don't think Republic's gonna win because I don't think a lot of Republic players are coming.
Gotcha. So you don't think that? Hey, I'm not that familiar with the meta out west. I don't know
I'm
how.
trying to go scientifically here. There are a lot of
Right.
GAR players out there.
Yeah.
Or a lot of GCW, Civil War.
Oh, I see.
Man, I think as a serious contender, probably. I think Sloane actually might win it. To be honest, Sloane's still nasty, guys.
Yeah. And here's the thing: I don't think she's ever not been nasty.
Yeah. So and Luminar is the only like hard road block for her. So I'm gonna say Sloane.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Sloane win lately, but statistically I'm gonna go with she'll probably take Las Vegas Open.
Right.
That's my thoughts. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with for now. Sloane.
You know, Buster, I know you don't really pay attention to metas that much, but just your instinct, who do you think might win the Las Vegas qualifier coming up? Just your gut instinct, if you might take it.
Oh no, yeah, my gut instinct. For some reason, Leia came to mind. That's the reason I threw it out there.
Yeah.
Just
Gotcha.
wacky guess is all it is.
And just going crazy.
Of course, Piet now has proven himself.
Oh right,
as the
yes.
premier admiral overall. So I say anyone who brings a big ship, stripped down Piet formation, just put them tight together in the middle of the field, and then just fly straight one, and don't do nav. That's a winner right there.
Yeah, because that won for our 2,000 point game with very rules restrictions that the Empire got. So.
Well, actually, so I forget his name now, but the guy who got fourth place at Osmo, who was playing Piet, he actually won another store championship with the same Piet list.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was the father's son. He was the son.
Yeah.
Brought Piet and a Piet list that I wasn't expecting, and he did very well. So good. I'm glad that he actually won. Hopefully it was a world qualifier that you got.
It is. Yeah. He. I haven't talked to him, and I sorry, I forgot his name, but yeah, he got his invite.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised to see Piet at Osmo, and he did very well with it.
I mean, Piet is not a slouch. I mean, the fact that you can take a token, turn it into a dial, and when you're dealing with a 400-point fleet where you only have 2 or 3 ships, you only need one token to a dial per turn is not bad.
Yeah. And in a very specific niche instance, Piet did a huge counter to the first fire ship the rebels brought in, thinking that they were going to screw over that executor. Mm-hmm. Then Piet's like, nope, I have a veteran captain and I'm Piet, so I get to do what I want. But anyway, that was
2 veteran captains on an SSD.
No, you can't duplicate cards, unfortunately.
I say if you're ever going to bring Piet, stop what you're doing and just take Thrawn.
I support that statement because Thrawn is better in every way. He's a little bit more expensive, but he does so much better than what Piet does.
Well, we say he's more expensive, but by the time you bring all the stuff to make Piet
him work, it's actually just bring Thrawn.
Just bring Thrawn.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Just bring
Thrawn.
And then
there's only 3 turns in Armada that matter.
Yep.
And Thrawn's there for all 3. So, problem solved.
Yep. I mean, I will always agree with that. I think the thing with Thrawn, I love Thrawn just because I love Thrawn, but I also just love his pure versatility. You can deal with any fleet you face. It's just, it's hard when you're facing people that ultra spec to, you know, the breaking the game kind of fleets people tend to bring in tournaments. That can be tough when you bring a generalist. But anyway. All right. So, let's go to a question here from Bodhi. So, Bodhi, you don't get to answer because you asked the question. Really ask me anything. It's for everybody else. So, aside from general points changes, are there any cards, ships, or squadrons you feel need to be nerfed or buffed? So we could do this and someone actually asked this in the comments, like a pseudo Rapid Reinforcements 3. If we were in charge, what would we do?
How much time do I have?
No, Garrett, I'll let you lead off. Why don't you lead us off? And then that way, if there's anything duplicated that I'm thinking of, we won't repeat.
I'm gonna limit myself to 3 things per faction.
Gotcha. Okay. 3 per faction. All right. Very good.
We'll start with Rebels. Okay. Rebels. Luke Skywalker. Okay. No escort. No escort. Okay. Lose that. He gets Adept 2, Black Bomber. You know what? Blue Black Bomber. Okay. He's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically Vader's son.
Yeah,
he should have Vader abilities. I would
give him, I don't care, a scatter. Okay, it's Luke Skywalker. He should, when you're building a Rebel list, Luke Skywalker should always be in your head to take. He's the main character of the whole thing, right? So, Luke Skywalker, or I guess Anakin, whatever. He's his son.
But still, you're right. And make him 28 points. Price him like Vader and the Defender. You know,
26. Make him just a monster. Okay. Yeah. Number 2, Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, Han Solo is so trash. And someone actually that's actually one of the questions. And I'm just going to tie this in. Who is your favorite Rebel ace, and why is it Han Solo? We could say why is it not Han Solo, because it's just that was from Ryan Becker.
So I hate that Lando
is better than good. Han. Yeah.
Okay. Han Solo should be speed 4. Okay. He should be brace scatter. I don't care. He's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Best ship in the galaxy. Okay. He outmaneuvers everything. All right. He should have dodge. Okay. And keep his ability to shoot first. That's great. But I think that would immediately make him a lot better.
I think just those 2 changes would have all rebels everywhere singing Hallelujah choruses. I mean.
Yeah. So Han Solo should be a character who is always at the top of your head when building a rebel list. Okay, it's part of the game's theme. And then I think across the board, the Liberty, Home 1, and MC-75 all need to be looked at and adjusted. They either need a points reduction, like 5, 8, 10 points, or they need upgrade bar changes. Because when building rebel fleets, it's difficult to make those 3 ships competitive outside of a Mon, Kraken, Liberty build that's built for one specific Radis reason. So I think the Home 1 suffers a lot from being one of the first ships released, and the ISD-2 was way better tooled.
So much better at the time. It's still better. Yeah.
Yeah. So
1 for 1. Yeah.
And because I think Akbar holds all of these ships back. Because when they're designing the ships, they're like, okay, how do we make sure we make this ship? But if you add Akbar, it doesn't make it oppressive. So, because of the 2 added dice. Because I think the front arc of the Home 1 just really ruins that ship. Because you can't get a good double arc.
Well, one thing I think would help the command and assault cruisers are just give 1. Like the assault cruiser, give it a gunnery team.
Right. And why is it not speed 3?
Right.
The ISD gets to be speed 3. It wouldn't break the game if it was speed 3. Right now you have to add titles to it, or add
engine text
to it
8
to make
points.
It work.
Which by then you're almost at the cost of an ISD-2 just from engine text.
And it's really stupid that we haven't gotten something like a title to add fleet command to it. It is the fleet command ship
of the rebels. Why can't it fleet? Yeah, it's like the Chimera for the Imperials. Why is it their one? Yeah.
Right. So why do you have to bring a stupid
Pelta
to do fleet commands? And it should command squadrons like crazy. It should be the centerpiece of a rebel fleet.
If you look on the MC-80 Assault Cruiser card, there's actually a bit of a misprint. So like on the speed chart, you can look at it and explain better than I can. But the speed 3 actually is shaded in the way that makes me think that it was originally supposed to be a speed 3 map ship.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I agree. There was a lot of funky stuff that happened at initial development of this game, because that ship was probably designed in like 2014, 15.
Yep.
Okay, so that's my Rebel rant. Empire, I think Empire is actually in a pretty healthy spot as far as cards and everything go. I think I don't like Jindin as a mechanic. Colonel Jindin, the double tapping of Merrick Steel.
He's great. Don't break up Three's company.
Nope.
TV show.
you have Vader and Merrick. I think you're good enough.
He is. I mean, I can't disagree with you there. I mean, I love Merrick, Jindin, Vader, but Jindin
or
he's so
keep
good.
his ability, but it applies to generics.
Actually, that would help make you have to think more, about
right.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that.
And your overall statement, I agree. I think the Empire has been for a long time and still is probably the best faction overall as far as balance and
for sure
completeness.
And I get it from a company standpoint. Empire pays the bills.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody buys Empire ships for display, and everybody prefers Empire to play because it's the rule of cool. So they're gonna get the most stuff and the best stuff.
And it's the easiest faction to play too. It's the easiest for newcomers to come in.
That's
it
right.
has the least complication. Yeah.
Yeah. So Empire pays the bills. And then I'm trying to look at the squadrons here to see.
I think for Empire, the one thing I would think they need to just take a relook. It's similar to what you talked about the MC-80 as one of the first ships. The first ship was the Victory. I think the Victory needs to be looked at again. Maybe just like an overhaul, just generically.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So thank you. That's what I was trying to get to the top of my head. I think the Victory needs a retool to either be a different kind of ship, as far as like its role, as it tries to fit in that Star Destroyer role. We got to stop doing that. We need to give it a different purpose.
More of a support destroyer.
Or make it a real missile gunboat that can somehow throw missiles long range. Kind of like Swivels, where you can have an acclimator that throws a black at long range.
At long range, right.
Do some sort of mechanic like that. Because a Victory 1 had missile launchers, and a Victory 2 is an ion boat. So make it, I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but I do know that the Victory sucks.
Although Buster likes running triple or sometimes 4 Victories if he can. Yeah, he's done that a few times trying to make that work.
And I think morale, eval should be removed from the game. Not because I don't think he's overpowered, but because his mechanic is just a tedious game time waster.
I don't even remember what he does.
So he does a thing where if a token is moved with an opposite, if a token is moved, then he gets to move distance 1 and attack. So if you can get that to ping correctly, he can attack 10 times in a row.
So if you just bring a bunch of strategics or other move,
So if you play it right and get that token to keep moving, and you keep pinging Moralo, it's just an indefinite movement, and it's like a game of precision and adjusting, and he moves and attacks. It's just a time waster, and it's just dumb to watch.
Right.
So I'll do that my 3. For the CIS, they need it's not really adjustments. They need stuff, right? I think they need a freighter with strategic. They need Jango Fett. Just give me a Jango Fett card for Rogue and the Slave One.
And that one is so weird why they haven't done it yet. It's so easy.
I think they just got it in their back pocket, right? it's an easy slam dunk. So keep it. And then, man, I honestly, as far as CIS ships goes, they're all like solid ships. But I think they need a dedicated squadron admiral that takes the existing CIS fighters and supercharges them. So they already have AI. I don't know. If they're commanded with your admiral in your fleet, they get AI and a reroll, or with an like on top of Swarm, or an extra AI dice. You know, it's kind of like Plo Koon, where if he's attacking a ship, he adds an accuracy. Just supercharge the existing squadrons we have to make them usable, instead of constantly printing new cards and then throwing old cards in the box. Right.
Republic #1, make Commander Wolf viable.
Yeah, make that card good. I don't think they should put a Garkitins in a rapid reinforcements. I think they should really release that as a
plastic
painted.
Yeah,
because it's a money maker. It's a money printer, right? We already can't buy Architins fast enough for Empire players. If you try and split that between Empire and Republic players, it's going to be even harder to get that shit. So re-release it as a painted Gar, and then a freighter with strategic, and then at minimum, do the I guess LATs, LAATs. It's such a huge
and put assault on them, and then
put assault on them,
and that
Fixer's Wolf,
and that almost completes the Gar order of battle. Just that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think those are my adjustments
on
my list.
So I didn't know if everybody realized this that's watching. This is actually also a subsidiary of the Command Stack podcast. That we I didn't tell Ken we were doing this, but this is what you guys really in-depth analysis from Garrett and the guys on Command Stack. So go check them out, because this is some really cool in-depth analysis of the game potential.
Yeah.
So
we talked a lot about what if wish list stuff. We did a Christmas podcast, and we listed just dozens of things we'd like.
Yeah, a lot of these sound very familiar.
Well, does anybody else want to add there? Those were all. I mean, one thing, Garrett, I would say I don't think I have anything to add. Everything you said, I almost 100% agree with. I will say Mercury Fleet Command disagrees, which I bet you that's Mercier. About the MC-80, he says that it should just be speed 2 because it's supposed to be a broadside boat. So they think that it should stay just as that's just a little disagreement.
But we got to add some stuff to it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no one's bringing it except Rob, because he likes it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I'll bring it. But no, it's speed 2 though. No, gosh, that's a killer, man. Speed 2 is a killer. Now it can work out when you have.
Oh, it's Ian. Ian said that. Okay.
I like that it's speed 2.
Yeah, I know you do. That way I can't get around you. You can get around me. That darn nose and tail end of the MC-80, man. That's the weakest parts.
Right.
Like the old target better.
Yeah, I agree though. Fleet Command, that should just be an automatic. Should have a Fleet Command. And one of the versions should have gunnery teams. Just give one of them the chance to shoot twice out the side at different targets.
Yeah. It is 114 points for the assault carrier. 114 points for one useful arc.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And an ISG-2 for 4 more points will beat it every day, 1-on-1.
Yeah. And sure, you can put 2 defensive upgrades on it, but okay. So it's going to shoot some dice.
Yeah.
And it can't run away.
Yeah.
It'll take some hits, but then it's stuck there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I'm going to do a quick question that was for me. This is the second one from Owen Johnston. Hi, Ben. Just wondering why I don't use Ozzel more in my lists. I seem to like to using lots of maneuver and flight commands, which is true. Maneuver, I think, is the best command in the game. And change speed a lot. Be interesting to try out because you can do other commands while you're adjusting speeds. And, I will say Ozzel is a fantastic commander. I think he's underused. I don't want to say he's underrated. I think you ask any Imperial player, they'll rank Ozzel high, but you just don't see him that much. With how he is now, he is so versatile with just I don't have to worry about navving. Or if I want to nav, I get even more benefit. For me personally, the reason is, Owen, is because I'm a Thrawn addict. I'm fine with paying the 12 more points for Thrawn. It's because I love Thrawn so much. But when I try to do but then I have to go well, if I'm not bringing Thrawn, then I'm bringing Sloane. So I have to go to at least my third choice before I consider Ozzel, because I like Thrawn and Sloane so much. But that's not to take away that Ozzel is really good. He is really good. It's just that I have two commanders that not only do I like better, they're my two favorite commanders in the whole game. So it's just I have to go down several levels before I decide to bring Ozzel on a list. But for anybody else, you're just around Ozzel, and if you guys play Empire, why do you choose Ozzel? Why don't you choose Ozzel? Because he is really good, but it's one of those where when you were talking about this, Garrett, the Empire is a really good faction. There's only one bad commander, and that's Constantine. Everyone else is so really good.
I object. Constantine rocks.
Buster likes Constantine. I should.
He's a fun ability, but it's hard to make it compound into a victory.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how well I was thinking, because I'd only heard bad things about him. When I played him in the Osmo that one time, I was really impressed with what he was able to do. So I might get back to him after I finish my tour of Imperial.
Tour of Imperial, yes. Yeah.
I got to interrupt. I have a rant about back to this home one thing.
Go back to home one. Ian, you're putting on onus.
There's a title called Independence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's each squadron you activate can go speed 4. It's 8 points. It sounds awesome until you get the end of the card and it says they cannot attack. What a dumb card. For 8 points, you can activate squadrons to move.
Yeah. Yeah, that talk about a worthless title.
Yeah. That would make B-Wings really, really cool, right?
Right.
And you'd see them a lot, but no.
Not for 8 points.
So useless.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see me bring it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I'm not paying 8 points for moving squads that just going to sit there.
So I've had some people push back saying that I also calling out Palpatine and Tag as commanders, which Palpatine is fair. Palpatine is extremely expensive.
I forget they exist.
Yeah, same here. The thing is, Tag definitely is in the lower tier. Here's the thing, Tag isn't terrible, especially for his cost. It's like, if you want to play for that gimmick, he can work. Palpatine is bad. And Constantine, I disagree with you, Buster, is bad. I don't think Tag is bad. He's just underneath a whole level of so many better commanders that Empire has.
Yeah, that's the real problem. There's a tier of options.
Yeah. All right, let me see if I got any more questions here. Before I do this one, I got a question from Brian McLaurin. He asked this in the comments, and actually several people actually commented responding, kind of answering this question. But just wondering about y'all's thoughts on this. He's asking, any tips and advice for starting up a new Armada community?
Who's going?
Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and start on that one, just because it kind of happened here. Now, I don't say this is the perfect way to do it, because mine kind of happened as a consequence of me starting the channel. But in our area, we also have a lot of good game stores, and part of growing that was communicating with our local game stores. I have a good relationship with the owner of one of the bigger ones. And we started holding monthly events, and which we're going to be doing again this year. Just a monthly event, an Armada tournament, just a casual tournament. Announcing it on their page, on my page. I put up a sign so people walking can see, and just start doing that. And go find a local game store. Now I know not every place has a local game store, but a lot of places do have local game stores, and put up a flyer. Say Armada is going to be on this date, or just show up and set up a table with models. And every time, even in our local community, but it's happened at Gen Con, it's happened at every con I've gone to, but even our local community, when the Armada's on the table, people come up and ask questions. Because everybody recognizes Star Wars ships, and they look cool, and people ask, hey, what is that? And that is how you can start getting people's interest. A huge example is when we were at Gen Con, when I was at Gen Con a year and a half ago now with Ken. Ken and I just played a casual game. We both got eliminated from the first day of the tournament, so we just played a casual game. We couldn't barely get through the game because people just kept coming and asking us, hey, what is that? So just put models on the table at a game store on one of their busiest days, and you'll start getting interest. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Ben, is
so
that how you got interested yourself, man?
Oh yeah, because Jonathan Abbott brought it to one of our local game days, the Saturday game days. He brought it and just put it on the table when it first came out in 2015. I was like, hey, what is it? That looks cool. So yeah.
I remember seeing it going, what is that? That looks cool. I don't want to spend money on it.
And then you held out for a few years, Buster.
I did.
Well, that's kind of the thing is, if you're trying to cultivate a community, buy like maybe an ISD, like a few CR90s. Ian just said people hover around an SSD.
Yep.
Like get the cool stuff
that people recognize.
And then, and what I did, and now granted, none of the people actually kept playing after this, but I did like a little beginners tournament where I made some pre-built like 200-point fleets. And I just laid everything out and I let people play. We had 8 people who had never played Armada before play for 2 rounds one night. And none of them came back, but I mean, they were interested for that night. And I'm sure, just get some models, play the game, let other people play with your models so they don't have to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I have two key things. One, pick a store that sells the product so that they can buy it.
Yep.
And 2, I'm not saying throw the games, but make sure the new guys win.
Yeah.
Don't play like you're playing at a tournament against the new guys.
Yeah.
Don't just kick their teeth in. That's not fun for yeah.
And if you're gonna kick their teeth in, go back, show them, and let them do it again.
Right. Yeah. Be
Just like the first time we played BattleTech, Ben, I let you win that.
Yeah, that was so quick little story on this. When I first moved to Northwest Arkansas, I hadn't played BattleTech in maybe 8 years. Went to one of the local game day things they do. It was at Galaxy Games. That doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, but I was trying to find some gaming community, so I just showed up. And Buster was there doing BattleTech demos, and I was like, that's BattleTech! I love that game! So I sat down, he gave me a couple models, and Buster quickly realized that I actually knew what I was doing. And, anyway, that was kind of funny, but...
I had to change my tactics real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, so for building...
Yes, building a community, yes.
Game plan. Here's what you do. So identify a store. Like Buster said, if they don't sell Armada, that's okay, as long as they have other Asmodee products on the shelf. Legion, X-Wing. Because that means they can order Armada.
Right,
okay?
True.
Because not every... Listen, a lot of stores liquidated Armada years ago because everybody thought it was going down, right?
True.
Here we are.
True.
Resurgence. Okay.
Yep.
Now, identify the store, ask them what night you can come in and play on, and get it on their schedule that they post, because most stores have a schedule of games on their Facebook page or wherever, website, and then ask if you can put up, like Ben said, a sign that says, hey, we play Armadas 6 p.m. on Thursdays. And then you make sure you have a way for them to contact you. Either put your phone number or a QR code with a Discord link, and then create a Discord. If you don't have a community one, we piggyback off one here in Kentucky where it's like a bluegrass one, and it has, Legion, X-Wing, Armada, and we just have our sub channel, right? So that way everybody can communicate in one spot. And Discord's really the popular thing anymore to do that way. We used to try to do a Facebook group, but it was either half the people were like, oh, I don't have Facebook, so they couldn't do Messenger, or it's people don't check it. So Discord seemed to be the best. So have a way for them to contact you if you're not there, and then you have to show up.
Yeah, don't ghost people. If you schedule something, show.
It's critical, and it's at the beginning. Might suck. If you have no one else to play with, contact people like us in the community, tell us where you're at, and then or ask on the Armada hub, and there is a 99% chance, unless you live somewhere real weird, that we will connect you with another person, and then the two of you can then play, and then from there it stacks.
Yep. There is the hub is a great Armada community. Yeah, so
you can also join the AMG Discord and post your looking for a community thing in that Armada sub channel. And so you can click on that and do that. And the other thing to do is attend events that are close to you and meet people there.
Right.
So because you'll find that they also travel from where you're at.
Yes, and they'll be posted. You'd have to do a little research to find the Discords, but like the hub has like a tournament channel that has tournaments worldwide that they post of tournaments that are going on, and try to find one that's within a decent driving distance, and just go to that, and then just meet people there, and just who knows what you might find. So, yeah.
And then if you, I have a pretty good catalog of where people live because I send stuff around. So if you want to message me, however you want to do it, I've got a Facebook page, Admiral Tater, and then I've got a Discord you could probably find. It's called Admiral. I think am I called?
Or go comment on one of his YouTube videos. When's your latest video? I'm just kidding.
I'm just called Admiral Tater on Discord, and try to send me a message there, or just send me a message on my Etsy. It's probably the easiest one, and then I can see if I have a customer in that area that I could link you with. So, Brian, specifically for you, you said that there's an OKC tournament you're thinking of going to. I think Bodhi's going to that one.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Is that Oklahoma?
Yeah,
it's Oklahoma.
In Norman, Oklahoma.
Massive community in that area. So Brian, reach out to me. You see that Mercury Fleet Command up there? That's Texas. So you're actually in a very fortunate spot. The Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas bubble. Actually, we've got a really good, strong community now that's growing and doing more regional events and local events. So
yeah, if you're in Oklahoma, we got tons of people I can link you with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to sign off. I got to get a pot rack hung above the stove before the Cowboys game.
Oh, I see. All right. Yeah, it's game day. So, but Buster, thanks for joining us. It was a fun game, and thanks for being part of the channel and just being a good friend and for gaming. So you'll guys be seeing more of him for more Armada in the future. So.
Oh yeah, and happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, 3 years.
Bye, Buster.
See you later, Buster.
All right, and how are you doing, Garrett? I don't want to keep you too long. I could talk forever and just think of it about other people's time.
What's our schedule of events?
My schedule is to go until we're ready to announce the winner.
Okay. Well, I'll stay for that.
All right.
I might like eat or something in the middle, but
yeah. And I think we're getting pretty close. So I actually have one more official question from the AMA we can do, and then there is one other thing I kind of want to do, just kind of as like well, I'll get to that. But first, let's do the final question. This is from Bradley Stevens. And which Star Wars character do you relate to the most?
Oh, I'll take that one.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
Hey, Bradley, how you doing, man? Really, I think Rex from Gar. Yep.
I like it.
I like Rex. He's one of my favorite. Used to be Han Solo, mind you, but once Rex came out in the Clone Wars, yep, he's been my man. So, yeah, he's the one I want. Just like the way he thinks, the way he cares about his brothers, the way he cares about the people, but he's not a pushover either, and he uses his brains instead of everything else. So,
yeah,
jack of all trades, good guy, and he's not a Jedi. I'm sorry, people, about Jedi and Sith. I know, but.
Yeah, Rob's not a huge Jedi fan. He likes the grunts on the ground.
Yep, I like the grunts. That's why I'm a general. But I'd rather have all them. I just like, that's the type of people I like. So you can have swords and stuff like that flying around and throwing people around, but you give me a blaster, like Han Solo said, that's it. That's all I need. and a grappling hook of jetpacks and everything else that the Rex has. But yeah, so Rex is my man.
What about you, Bodhi?
This question's really hard for me. I fall into like chronic, like bleh guy syndrome. Like I never relate to anybody. I've been thinking about this so hard. Let's say Kylo Ren, but because he's so conflicted, it takes him a while to figure out what he really stands for, and I don't know what I'm doing.
So for me, it's it's so obvious, but I mean, Thrawn is so. It's hard for me to pick anything else. I mean, I have a lot of favorite Star Wars characters, and you can say ones I relate to, but I love Thrawn so much, primarily because of. I mean, I've talked about this before on my channel and on Ken's interview that he was kind enough to do with me. It's because he is the epitome of the perfect strategic commander. He's like, what if you took the art of war and then made a fictional character that actually followed it perfectly? And just because I've been a student of military history all my life, I've always enjoyed it, and studied all the famous generals and commanders throughout history. Thrawn is the fictionalized version of that, which is why that just resonates with me so well. A close second would be Revan, because Revan is actually, for those that are familiar with the KOTOR games and the books, Revan wasn't just, a badass Jedi. He was, and Sith, and back to Jedi. He was actually a brilliant strategic commander like Thrawn was. That's how he was able to lead the Republic to smack down the Mandalorians at the time, was through his strategic brilliance. But that's why those two resonate with me the most.
Let's see here. I'm gonna more like Rob's answer. One of the just normal, like just Joe Schmo,
right?
Like, thrust into his situation. I always think about The Empire Strikes Back, where I used to be in the Corps, and but I was just an enlisted guy in radio communications, and I always think about being on the Devastator in Empire Strikes Back when Vader's just choking out Ozzel, and then he looks at Piet, I think it is.
Yep.
And or no, I think I relate more to Nita.
Yeah.
Where you're like in this impossible situation, and like you're given just impossible tasks and expectations.
And if you fail, you'll be killed.
But yeah, it's just like you're just like a faceless gray guy in this machine, and nothing you do will be the perfect answer, but you're trying your best not to get choked out by Vader. And I just always think about those poor guys, like or like when Vader's like walking across the the bridge, and
you're that little tech underneath him. You're like, don't look at me.
And you're like,
don't look at me.
Yeah, you're like just trying to do your job, right? Oh my gosh, another day on this stupid ship. Why can't I get transferred?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just some mid-management Imperial officer,
right? Yeah, think about like realistically, I might have been on the first Death Star as a people manager for healthcare compliance. I mean, that's kind of what I do in real life, and I'm just there to manage the healthcare systems on the Death Star, just to make sure we're in compliance with healthcare codes and everything. And then just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these terrorists come along and blow us up. I'm just doing my job, trying to help with the healthcare of all these, anyway.
Yeah, you're from Abergrodda Ray. You have no idea the Empire is like subjugating half the galaxy.
Right? Yeah,
this looks like a good idea.
It's a good middle management job with a good salary. Send home back to my family.
The post Clone Wars GI Bill.
Yeah. I get dental
and get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like trying to you're on the radio in the Star Destroyer, you're like, you need to contact the Star Destroyer next to you, and it's that guy on the other ship that's doing his job wrong. But
right.
Vader's looking at me like, why can't you raise them on the radio?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it's that side, I swear to God. It's them, not me.
Just never be a pilot on a Gazanti.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Or any threat level zone.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like the dream job is to be like a supply guy, like in the Corps.
Right. Yeah. Where there's no fighting. It's too well defended to where the rebellion won't come, and you're just doing the standard supply runs back and forth between two heavily guarded bases.
Yeah.
You know.
And when the New Republic takes over, you're like, I swear, I didn't know.
I'm just a transport driver. I'm just a truck driver.
Change hats.
Yep.
None of that for the Empire crap.
Yep.
Like I'm just trying to get a paycheck here, everybody.
Yeah. I'm part of the Teamsters. Teamsters don't choose sides. Just
There you go. Right. Yep. I mean, I always felt bad for that Gazanti pilots. Was it in the Mandalorian or was it?
Oh yeah, in the Mandalorian, where they're just two pilots, and they have the fanatic that's commanding them in the back, and he's like, you know what? We're about to be boarded. I'm going to kill you both and crash the ship.
Yeah.
It's like
oh
they're
my
just.
And they're like, what?
You picked the wrong warlord to be.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the sector with when the Empire fell.
All right, y'all. Well, you know what? Speaking of time, we're getting close to 2 hours since we started. I don't want this to run on forever. We have answered a lot of questions. We talked about the Battle of Endor, and I think it might be time. Let's just get on to this giveaway. I'm sure that's what everybody's waiting on. Who won? And to remind everybody, I'll put up on the screen here. Fantastic giveaway provided by our special guest, Garrett Vance, Admiral Tater. Almost $600 in value. It's going to be a tournament box set with a token tray, with a ruler set, a template tray, pluck foam, and a carry bag. This is... Now, the carry bag is blue. I wasn't able to get the pictures. I know you sent me the new pictures, but if you guys want to see what the new bag looks like, check out the General's Quarters a couple weeks back that Rob got. I can
make it my Zoom background.
Yeah, actually. But Rob got the new bag. It's fantastic value. It'll have the Downsizeit 3-year anniversary, something on it somewhere, but everywhere else will be your own custom design, what you want. And just as a reminder, that this partnership that Garrett has done, I can't believe that, it was just random how Garrett and I kind of hooked up to do this. And he's been supporting this giveaway for 3 years, and this isn't the last giveaway. It's not like we're doing this giveaway and then we're done. There's going to be more giveaways.
It'll keep going.
It's going to keep going. Now, I don't know what the next giveaway after this is going to look like, or what the time variance is going to be. But
y'all gotta give me a break.
Yeah, we're gonna give it some time, and I'll make an announcement later once the new giveaway starts back up. I'll let you guys know. But just know, this giveaway is not going to end. This is just the big 3-year anniversary one. Then we're going to keep going after this one. And I just want Garrett, thank you continually for your support on this. And
heck yeah, guys, it's a pleasure.
And you guys go support Garrett. And when you go to his channel, use Downsizeit 10. That's been the discount for 3 years. For those that didn't know, you could have guys been getting 10% off of all of Tater's purchases.
Oh, yeah.
You still can.
And the biggest thing is that funds Ben's Tater credit to do like his the Ozark Mountain Open was covered by that. Yes. So it provides great prizes, giveaways.
Yeah, the Osmo was the prizes we had for Osmo. You would expect at a regional tournament with 40+ players, but Garrett was able to provide that with y'all's help with supporting his channel and our partnership to get that massive prize support. And this year we doubled in size to 16 players, and hope we keep growing that. So that's how that keeps building. So just keep supporting Garrett. Use that discount code, and yeah. And as you can see on Garrett's screen here, let me take off this one there. That's what the new bag color looks like there, and then what Rob had. And
so it's black and blue, which is much more visually appealing.
A little bit more appealing, yes.
Than green and gold. And then I got Velcro patches on it, so you can put your own patches, which looks cool. And then it's got tons of pockets, and then foam at the bottom and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love it. And I know that all the pockets are gonna be filled soon. Trust me.
Yeah, so like when you go to tournaments, like snacks, pills, other stuff.
Yeah. And it's a sturdy bag. That was my first time actually seeing it in person when we went over to Rob's to film this. And that is a thick and sturdy bag. Like it's not going to break on you. And it fits that box nice and snug. So it's going to protect the Tater box as well when you travel.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's got a hard plastic bottom too. So
yeah,
and it's made to be carry-on size too.
Yeah,
it is
really good. Size. All right, well I think it's time. Let me pull up my random name generator, and I'm going to see if I can do this here. Unless you guys have another screen pulled up, you're not going to see it on the Zoom. But for the live streamers, if I can get this to do properly, sometimes I have issues with OBS. But all right, so this is just a generic random name picker. It's what I've always used. It's kind of covering up my face, but what matters is you'll see the names generating, and we'll get the final winner here. I know Bodhi is in anticipation. You know, everyone that comments is eligible. Even if you've already won, you're eligible. So let's see what we got here. All the names and all the duplicates have been entered. So who will win?
And if I win, I don't gotta make it.
Oh, wait.
Just kidding.
I thought it was ready. Hang on. I forgot to load the list. Hang on.
You need a drum roll. That's what you need. You need a drum roll.
That was a drum roll.
Bodhi, give a drum roll. Come on.
All right. Sorry, guys.
Come through.
This is adding into my failures for this week. Thought I had it set up.
It's all anticipation. Right. You're building up.
There we go. There the names go. There they are. They're all spinning.
Whee.
Who's it gonna be?
And it's dun, 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 dun,
Matt Soms. Man, we haven't seen Matt Soms for a while, but he did come out of the woodwork to comment on several videos. So,
that's
congratulations, Matt. He's actually one of our first subscribers ever.
Yeah,
he's one of the OGs.
So, he bought one of the first Tater boxes like a long time ago. So this will be an upgrade.
Yeah,
a huge upgrade for it.
Yeah, Matt. I think if you had one of the original ones, then yeah, the new Tater boxes, they're some really nice quality of life updates that have happened. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Well,
now that means, Ben, that Matt has to play you against what was it, the big game? Is that what it's called?
The Downsize It subscriber challenge.
Well, the game, Ohio versus what's it called?
Oh right. No, we're not doing that until Ohio actually figures out a bit that team up north again. Now, I don't even want to talk about this dumpster fire that our team has been the past 3 years. But
got your chance, Matt. You got your chance, man. Come on, Matt.
All right. Well, all right. There we go. I mean, I was kind of nervous. First time doing that live. I usually do it in the morning, then I make my video and then post it later. All right. So, Matt, congratulations, and thank you everybody else for supporting the channel and commenting. And remember, this isn't the last giveaway. We're going to do another one. So in the next few weeks, I'll talk with Garrett to figure out what our next giveaway is, what the time frame is going to be, and then I'll get that video posted, and we're going to keep on going. And just as a brief, just some brief announcements as far as channel updates coming up. Tentatively, I haven't confirmed yet with Gear. I've asked them. But the first Saturday in February and first Saturday in March, and this is for Bodhi and Rob, we're going to be restarting the Ozark Mountain Tournament Series for the for a little two round tournaments that we do every month. And it's to help people practice for Worlds. Well, it's for fun, but also we have several people in the area that have Worlds qualifiers to practice for Worlds, so you can start practicing fleets. And then one thing I'm excited for, a new game is going to be debuted on the channel once it comes out. Should be around April or May, unless there's a delay. And it's called Star Trek Into the Unknown.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically Star Trek Armada. And I have been waiting for something like that ever since I heard about Star Wars Armada. Because I am a Trekkie. Trek is my original nerd, and I cannot wait for this game to come out. So you guys will be seeing that a lot on this channel once it comes out as well. And I might have to maybe finagle Garrett once the game gets a little bit more stabilized. What kind of special Tater stuff for Star Trek can we get going?
That's a plan. Because you and Ken are both like huge Trekkies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, with Ion Radio and I'm pretty sure we're both gonna be pressuring you to start getting.
I'm under pressure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bodhi, Garrett, Rob, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Bodhi?
So much pressure. Congratulations, Matt. Thank you, Ben. Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah.
Rob, you're pretty cool too.
Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks, Bodhi.
No, you were a great teammate through Endor.
We fought it through. We did it.
We did.
We trudged along.
If anyone's going to the Oklahoma, I forget the name of it now, but whatever the store championship that they're doing in Norman on the 27th, I'll be there. So will Andrew or Aries. And then I'll also be at Adepticon for Worlds, so I'll see any of you guys then.
Yes.
And are you bringing the Agate Hammerhead?
No, I'm not bringing the Agate Hammerhead. We technically succeeded.
Yeah, they kind of had a little wager, like depending on what happened at Endor, he would have to bring a Hammerhead spam with Agate on it or something for the Worlds.
Just a Hammerhead torpedo frigate with Agate. That's not happening, thankfully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm joking with you. At least do it for one of the Osmo things.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll make it work sometime.
I know you will. All right. For me, I had a lot of fun. Again, thank you, Bodhi, for being a teammate. Great.
Anytime.
And Aries, and if you're still out there, I'm not even sure if you're still out there in Chatland. And Buster, when you hear this later on, thank you guys. You guys are great opponents. So a lot of fun.
100%.
And Ben, thank you for putting this on. I mean, that was a great. Okay. Most of the rules were really good. We liked them.
Well, so it was, I've talked about this
later.
Yeah, I talked about this before and at the end of the game, but it was skewed heavily towards Empire because I wanted to simulate the way it actually was. It was a 1,000,001 shot, pull them out of the ass rebel chance, and I wanted it to feel that way. And I'm just glad the way it turned out, that it actually,
At the end, it does feel that way at the end.
Yeah.
And then Garrett, thank you. You've been doing a great job for all of us in the community and everything else. And the Downsize channel and everything you do is great. So thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, well, obviously, I can only exist because Armada exists, so I'm thankful to everybody else. It's very humbling when I go places and I see Tater stuff, so.
We'll get Star Trek in there too. See if it exists for other reasons.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like Star Trek. So
yeah.
I'm excited. I really have high hopes for that game. So
Same here.
I hope it's ship battle-y, if that makes sense. And not just like weird mechanics where I occasionally get to shoot a ship.
Right. You'll have to wait and see what that looks like actually. So
right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, huge congrats to Matt. I'm excited to make his updated box. He's a huge clone guy, so I'm excited to see what he wants to.
Probably Republic focus would be my guess, perhaps.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
for sure. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks
all
for
right.
having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, everyone who watches the channel, subscribes to the channel, comments on the channel, we appreciate you all. The silent watchers, the active watchers, the subscribers. So thank you everybody for all the support. And going to keep this going. This is a hobby of mine. I like to keep it as a hobby. I like that we keep things growing. And there might be some other new things coming out with some of the new members that, as far as additions to the channel, once we get those things worked out as well, just like a little sneak tease that there might be some new, additions to the YouTube, to the channel that might be coming up this year as well. So be on the lookout for those. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This has been an exceptional journey, really fun. And until next time, take it easy.